Okay, look at how moist this gluten-free pumpkin banana muffin is. We're using oat flour. Let's hop into the recipe. So we're going to start with a 1/4 cup of coconut flour, 1 cup of oat flour. And if you do not have oat flour, you can take 1 1/4 cup of just regular old-fashioned or quick oats in a high-powered blender, and that will give you a great oat flour. Next to that, we're going to add in cinnamon, we're going to add ginger, we're going to add nutmeg, cane sugar or coconut sugar, baking soda, and a little bit of sea salt. So we're going to add all of that. You can check the description box for everything that I'm adding, and you can also check out the recipe on my website, and that'll be linked below. So we are going to combine all of those ingredients, just use a whisk, get it in there. Super simple. And I'm using coconut flour because this is going to add fiber, it's going to add protein, and it's going to stay with you longer. It's not going to jack up your insulin levels. So we are next going to take some melted coconut oil that goes in this recipe. But this is my trick. I do not use those aerosol cans and all those needless toxic ingredients. I like to use the same thing that I'm baking with a silicone brush, and I'll go right in with my silicone brush and melted coconut oil, and I'll get in there on all sides. If you are not dairy free, you could use a grass-fed butter in this recipe. I haven't tried it, so I don't know how that would taste, but I'm sure it would keep it nice and moist as well. So we're just going in each crevice with this, and then the remainder we set aside. Next, we're taking some canned pumpkin puree, not the pie filling. So this is just 100% pure organic pumpkin. I usually buy a couple of cans around this time for pies and all types of things. This freezes very well. Add in 2 pastured eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then you can go ahead and grab your overripe banana that has a lot of spots. This one's nice and sweet, and it keeps us from adding more sugar, but we're also adding potassium and a couple other minerals. I mash that with the back of a fork. I mix it in with my pumpkin puree and eggs and vanilla. Then I'm going to add in that cold coconut oil. You don't want to add coconut oil to anything that's going to be above 74 to 76 degrees because it will solidify. So we're going to go ahead and mix the wet ingredients in with our dry ingredients. And we're going to get this mostly incorporated, and then we're going to come in with our last ingredient. So we're going to go ahead and mix that in. And I'm doing this just in case the temperature drops for some reason in your home and you don't want the coconut oil to get back to a solid state, because it's a saturated fat and it will do that at a certain temperature. So right after everything's mostly incorporated, now I'm going to add in 1/4 cup of unsweetened coconut milk. This is where you can add whatever milk you like, but we're a dairy-free household, so that is what I'm adding to this. And this is going to get everything nice and smooth, and that's our last ingredient. We're going to mix that in. Our family loves to have this at breakfast with a protein shake, because you want to make sure that you're just getting a good balance of carbohydrates and protein. You don't want to spike your blood sugar, and it just keeps you full really long. It's also a great sweet treat too. So I am going to grab a 1/4 cup measurement. I'm going to just scoop that out, and I'm going to put it into each muffin. But here's the thing, I like big muffins, you know, the ones that you would get from a bakery. That's what I'm going for this recipe, but you can also use this to make 12 regular standard muffins, and that is going to be, I mean, just as easy as it is. I usually double this recipe. Sometimes I triple it because they freeze really well. So we're going to bake that at 350 degrees for 25 minutes. This is what it looks like. And again, you can make 12 muffins and not 6. If you make 6, you can cut them in half. You can put almond butter on them. They're just really good to have on hand. This is what it looks like when they're all done. And they get golden and super moist. I always do that. I don't know why, but I just like to make sure that they're going to be nice and tender and fluffy. So that is as easy as that, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when I break one of these open. They slip right out of the muffin tin, no need for any liners or anything. You can always use them if you want to. But I'm gonna break it open. There's a lot of steam, and these are just slightly warm, so they're still kind of hot. But these are super moist and delicious. I hope that you love them if you make them.